Subnautica, the sci-fi underwater survival game, has been around for a short time now, but it's made a big impact with its slick graphics, interesting gameplay, and with the possibility of expansion. This game is pretty cool. One of the best things about it is they've introduced a terraforming tool, and I've put together this short guide to just show you how to use it, where to find it, and maybe some of the drawbacks you may encounter, guys. So I hope you find this useful. Here we go. When you start the game, you begin in this escape pod. There's a little locker over here, you can see. You can open it. This does give you a random selection of items. If you're lucky, you might get one of the terraforming devices in here. I haven't seen it as yet. Then over here, we have the fragment analyzer, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So to get a blueprint for the terraforming device, you need to dive fairly deep, at least 70 meters from my experiences. Sometimes you find these beds of red seaweed, and keep your eyes peeled for these particular items. You can see here this is called the terraforming fragment. You need it to then put into the fragment analyzer, which we saw earlier on. All you've got to do is press the left mouse button to pick it up, and it goes into your inventory. Once you've found the fragment, turn to your escape capsule, escape pod, and place it in the fragment analyzer here. Just place that in there like so. Now I've already researched it. It will whiz and hum, and then probably about 5 minutes later you will have researched the technology from the fragment, and you can now build yourself a terraforming device. Do that here. Find any fabricator, you can actually make your own. Click on the left mouse button, and you will see under personal and tools there is a listing for a terraformer here. You will see the blueprint, which we have. You need advanced wiring kit and a battery. That's all you need. To make the advanced wiring kit, you need to go to the electronics section, and you'll see here you need gold and computer chips. It's actually not too difficult. To find gold, you need to dive quite deep, about the same sort of depth as you would do for finding the blueprint. Once you've made the terraformer, it's like this in hand. Also, it only takes up one space in your backpack, which is excellent. Now it has two functions. You take away land and dig and build the land. So you're basically moulding and sculpting land around you, and it is land, it's solid earth. But you need to load the device up first. To do that, you need to hold shift and the right mouse button. You can see a red ball appears. It takes that zone, that sphere of land, and loads it into the device. You can see here. It's taking away features. This is a quarry that I've set up so that I kind of preserve the landscape. All is the indicator as to where you're going to be taking away land. You can also build, and to do that you don't hold the shift down when you press the right mouse button. What happens is you get a green ball appear, and that sphere of land will be added to that area. Now, there aren't any starting land masses in this game. So you don't have an island to start with. What you have to do is build up from underwater. Once you've built it above the surface, you can then carry on building. You can see here this landmass I've been growing and developing. Just point the device at this mass, and you can slowly build up areas feature. The device is fairly straightforward, but there are a number of strategies you can employ to speed things up a bit. One of the early techniques I used to help grow the land is floating in the water at eye level, and by pointing at the landmass in front of me and holding down the right mouse button and dragging it across the space. You can see here it produces a snake-like formation. Let's see how that can be effective. Gradually, as you get used to it, you can speed this process up, and the landmass soon grows out of the ledge. One of the difficult things about terraforming is building height. What tends to happen is the angle at which you can build at is very low. You can't build necessarily directly on top of things if you're looking up at them, because the sphere you're placing from the terraforming device tends to stick around the sides of the item rather than at the top. It can take time. One way of improving this option is to gradually build a mound and then use the negative side to build a tunnel straight up into this mass which you've built. And then if you get some height, you can then build things up far more easily than you would be able to if you were down. Another thing you can do with the terraforming device is build up land around your structures if you choose to do so. So for example, here we have a line of corridors, and I want to build a walkway around this particular device so I can actually climb up over it. See, it's quite difficult to do it, but it will allow you to place items, place land around it. Let's see here. What you can actually do is build up a walk. As you can see here, I've sculpted the land around the base. And you can climb over this, although as you can see, it can be quite difficult sometimes to navigate this terrain. Like so. Which if you had a long path, a long corridor of these, it would be a quick way of getting inside. So when you come inside, you can see the rock has morphed through the structure. Because we have the device, we can simply do the negative, take away the rock, and we have a pathway through. If I was to say there's any negative things about this terraforming device, which, you know, basically is amazing, is that you can't adjust the size of the land you form. You're kind of at the mercy of creating these huge edges. Really, there needs to be a more delicate setting. But I guess this is early stage. This is an alpha game, Subnautica, and there's a lot to come. And I'm pretty sure they will allow you to change the type of land potentially and make details sharper. Guys, so I hope you found this guide to terraforming in Subnautica useful. If you did, click the thumbs up, and if you want more of the same, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which you can do down below. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next